Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Anton and welcome back to a brand new Discord JS tutorial. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a simple queue system for your music bot written in Discord JS. So it's going to be lots of fun. It's going to be really cool. Basically, the way it works is you're going to queue up random songs to your, or whatever song you want, to your queue, okay? And every single time the song is finished playing, right, what you can do is it will actually play the next song. So it's actually really cool and I'm really excited to teach you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so before we start coding, I want to mention a couple things. First things first, you want to make sure you have a couple of more dependencies installed. You want to make sure you have the YTDL, the YouTube downloading module installed. Okay, so just go into your terminal or command line and do npm install YTDL-core, and this is going to allow you to actually download the YouTube URLs. And what you're going to need next is you're going to actually need ffmpeg, which is cross-platform. Okay, it basically allows you to convert and stream audio and video. So if you don't have these binaries, make sure you have this installed. I did make 2 videos like about a few months ago showing you guys how to actually set this up, I think. So definitely go ahead and check those out. But it's really easy. Just make sure you have this installed and you should be all set. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started into the code. Now, I do think this video is going to be quite lengthy. I'm hoping to get it done in less than 15 minutes, but we'll see. That's why I have this hand cam so you guys can admire my beautiful Ducky 1.2 Mini, for those that are wondering. And these are, I think, Cherry MX red switches. Okay. So what we're going to need is we're going to need to bring in the YTDL module. So we're going to say const YTDL equals require YTDL-core. Now I'm going to go ahead and say const stream options. These are just directly given from the Discord JS documentation. So in case you're wondering why I have what I have here, don't worry too much about it. It's just what was recommended. So just follow along. So seek 0 and then volume 1. Perfect. Here we go. All right, cool. So now let's go ahead and get started with the code. So right now, all the other stuff that you see here are all pretty straightforward. This is just the Discord JS module. This is just instantiating the client. What we really need to pay attention to is inside this message event that's being handled. Okay, that's being emitted. Okay, so right over here we have async keyword in front of message because we're going to be using async await. So in order to use those keywords, we need to make sure we're inside an asynchronous function. So just make sure you add async in front of message, and we should be good to go. Okay, so the way the bot is going to work is we're going to basically use a simple text command, for example, $Q, and we're going to add that URL to the queue, and we're going to basically play whatever song that comes after, right? So for example, if I add this URL to the queue, and if there's nothing in the queue, then this song is going to be played. But if I add this song to the queue and there are, let's say 7 items in the queue already, this song is going to be number 8 in the queue. So once those 7 songs are done playing, we're going to play this song then. So that's how it's going to work. So we're going to say if message.content.toLowercase .starts with $Q. I'm going to say let args equal message.content.split. Okay, so let me do let URL equals args subscript 1. Okay, so I'm trying to speed through this, but I'm also going to explain what I'm doing at the same time. So what I'm doing over here, these 2 lines, is I'm basically taking the string that the user entered in. So for example, the string is going to be $Q and this whole YouTube URL, and I'm basically splitting that entire string with a space delimiter. Okay, because the way the command is going to work, the way we want the user to use the command is we're going to say $Q and then space and then YouTube URL. That's how the command is going to work. Okay, if they don't do it that way, well, tough luck for them. Okay, now the URL, we want to extract that from the array. So we're going to reference it in position 1 because that's where it is located in the array. It's located in position 1. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to want to get the voice channel object, which is the voice channel that we want the bot to join in to actually play the music. So to do that, we're going to say message.guild.channels.find, and we're going to say channel arrow function channel.id equals. We're going to copy the ID of the channel we want the bot to join. So since I have two channels over here, but I want the bot to join the music bot channel, so I'm going to right click it, get the ID, and just paste it over here. Okay. You could also do channel.name and then equals, and then whatever the name of the channel is, it'll be the same thing. But I prefer using the channel ID. Okay, so now what we want to do next is we want to validate the URL. Okay, so luckily the YouTube downloading module has some utility functions that we could use. So we can use the what was it called, validate URL function. So we just need to pass in that URL variable which we have the URL stored in, and if this is true, that means the URL is valid. I'm just going to simply say console.log valid URL. Okay, so now we need some kind of data structure to store our URLs. This data structure is going to kind of like resemble the queue. Okay, but I'm going to use an array because it's really easy and it's really simple. Now you could use a map, you could also use a set. The reason why I chose to use an array is because with an array it's really easy to access the first position of the array. First element of the array. It's also easy to remove the first element of the array, so that's why I'm using it. You could do this with a set. You would just need to, because it's actually better to use it with a set too, because you don't want, the way I'm doing this queue system is I don't want duplicate URLs queued, or I don't want duplicate URLs inserted into the array, right? We want every URL that's being queued to be unique. So a set would be perfect for it. But again, it's up to you, however you guys want to implement this. I'm just showing you guys how I implemented it. Okay, so I'm just going to use an array. So what I'm going to say is var flag, and I'm going to say equals music URLs dot sum. We're going to use the sum function. What this is going to do is it's going to return, basically an element. It's going to return true if the element passes the condition, and the condition being element equals URL. So what we're doing here is I'm basically saying, okay, we're gonna walk through every single element in the music URLs array, and if one of the elements is equal to the URL that we're trying to queue, then this is going to return true. Okay, so if flag, right? If flag, and we're only queuing one URL at the same time, right? So this whole, as soon as it returns true, we don't have to do anything else. But anyways, if not true, right? Because let's say, for example, if we don't find a duplicate in the array, this is going to be false. So we're just saying if not false, which is true, then what we're going to do is we're going to add the URL to the array. So we're going to do music URLs.push URL. Perfect. Okay. And now we're going to say if voice channel not equal to null, I'm going to simply do, I'm going to have to handle two cases, right? So right now, what we want to do is we want to enter the voice channel and have the bot play the song, right? But there's two cases. There's case one where the bot is currently in the channel, and if the bot is in the channel, then it should be playing music. If the bot's in the channel, it needs to be playing music. If it's not playing music, then it shouldn't be in the channel. That's the way how I'm implementing it, right? Other bots stay in the channel forever until a song has been queued. But the way I want to do it is I'm going to basically check, okay, if there is a connection that exists, right? The connection being that the bot is currently connected to the voice channel, then all we're going to do is just print out a message saying that they've successfully added the song to the queue, because we already added the song to the queue already. So all we're going to do is they're just going to print a simple message, right? So I'm actually going to copy and paste that because I actually have it on the other screen. Okay, perfect. So now else, the next case is if they're not in the channel, and if they're not in the channel, that means multiple things. That means one, they're not playing any music. There's nothing to be played, first of all, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to need to join the channel and play the song. So I'm going to do a simple try catch statement because we're using async await. The reason why I'm using async await is because I'm handling multiple promises. It's because what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to go ahead and create an asynchronous function called play song. This is actually where we're going to actually play the song. Okay, so const voice connection equals await voice channel dot join. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the voice channel object this object over here is a voice channel. And the voice channel object, let me actually pull up the documentation real quick. The voice channel object has a method called join, which returns a promise, and that promise resolves a voice connection. Okay? So I'm awaiting this promise. So if it resolves, it's going to store the entire thing inside this voice connection variable over here, right? Now, if this fails for whatever reason, it's going to be handled. We want to always make sure we're handling our errors. We're going to handle that error inside here, inside this catch statement. Okay. Now let's go ahead and write the play song function. So this is going to be an asynchronous function. If you don't know what that means, basically the asynchronous function basically returns a promise. Okay. And we're gonna take in 3 parameters. Voice channel. Okay. Now a lot of the next following lines of code is just gonna kind of be like something that you just have to do. So there's really no explanation behind it, but I will explain what I did with the music URLs right over there real quick. Okay, so what I'm doing on this line is I'm basically saying, okay, music URL subscript 0. Well, this is basically going to be the URL that we want to play, right? So you obviously don't want to hard code it, but if for some reason you want to, there should be no reason in the first place. But basically, this is going to be the URL that we want to play. Well, what URL are we going to play, right? That URL is going to be the first element in the array, right? Because it's a queue, right? So we're always going to be playing the first element in the array. And after it's done, we're going to pop the first element from the array. So it's going to be a new URL that's going to be played. Okay, so that's why we have music URL subscript 0. Next, we're going to have a dispatcher variable. And what we're going to do here is we're going to say voice connection. So this voice connection is the parameter that we passed in that we're going to pass in. But this is going to be a voice connection. Now, let me go back to the documentation to show you guys. Like I said, I want to make sure you guys are understanding, what I'm doing, not just copying and, copying line by line. I want to make sure you guys are understanding what I'm doing. So in case you want to do your own things, you can actually go ahead into the documentation and, figure something out on your own, right? But the voice connection has a method called playstream, and this actually is going to actually play the YouTube URL for us. It basically converts an audio stream into the voice connection. Okay, so we're going to say playstream. This takes in 2 parameters. It takes in the stream variable that we just created, and it's going to take in the stream options variable that we just declared way early into the video. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run this bot because I kind of just sped through it. So everything should be okay though. Okay, we're logged in. I was recording this earlier and I had some connection issues, but hopefully it should be good. Connection exists. Oh, that's right. We actually have not called the function. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our message event over here. Right over here, inside this try catch statement, you want to do await play song, and you want to pass in the message.channel, pass in the voice connection, and then pass in voice channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and try again. What's going on? I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna go ahead and try this again real quick. Okay, so we are logged in as MusicBot, and I don't have any other. Oh, whoops! I forgot one more thing. I actually messed up. Okay, we gotta fix something real quick. So it's actually a really simple fix. So I said I was gonna handle 2 cases, but I totally skipped that entire if else statement. So let me just copy this and let's just go ahead and say inside the if voice channel not equals null, we're gonna say if voice channel dot connection. Because remember earlier I mentioned there's 2 cases. It's either the voice, the bot is either in the voice channel or it's not. Okay, and if it is in the voice channel, then we're just going to simply tell them that you've added the song to the queue because the bot is currently playing something, right? And if that is false, right, we're going to go to the else case, and we're going to simply do this whole thing. So that's something that I completely missed. All right, so let's go ahead and restart this. Nodemon testbot.js. Okay, so hopefully this should be all good. So the bot's in here, and the bot is currently playing the song from earlier in the intro, so that's good. Okay, so this song, I don't know how long the song is. It is 3 minutes and 44 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and cue another song. Or let me see if I can actually find a no copyright 30-second music, because I don't want to stay too long. But let me actually go ahead and I'll just cue this song real quick. Okay, so notice how right now I'm gonna disconnect from it. So I just connected, I just queued this song. So this song will be played right after this song over here is done playing. So in the meantime, we're not going to worry too much about that now because we still have some code left to write. We actually haven't even handled that situation yet. So right now there are songs in the queue, but we need to handle the case when the song is done playing, right? So the stream dispatcher, right? This variable over here is an instance of a stream dispatcher. And this dispatcher has some events that we can handle. So we're going to handle the end event, right? Because we want to make sure we know when the bot is done playing music, right? So once the bot is done playing music, what we want to do is we want to basically say music URLs.shift, which is going to remove the first element from the array, and it will let us play the next song, because the next song to be played will be in the first position. Okay, that's why we're using music URL subscript 0. So now I'm going to do if music URLs.length equals 0, right? I'm just checking if the array is empty. If it is, that means there's no songs left to be played. So we're just going to leave the channel. So I'm going to do voice channel, right? That's the voice channel object. We're going to do .leave, and I'm going to do else. That means there is another song to be played. So I'm going to use a set timeout function because there is going to be some delay. So I don't want to screw anything over. So I'm going to use a set timeout function, and I'm going to delay it by 5 seconds. Or I could do maybe 4 seconds, but I think 5 seconds is perfect. And we're just going to recursively call this function again. So we're going to say voice connection. And this will basically keep on calling it over and over again until there are no items in the array left to be played. I'm going to go ahead and print out a simple embedded message to tell the user what is being played currently. So actually, I'm not going to worry about this for now. Okay, so this should be okay. So let's go ahead and disconnect our bot. Okay, let's restart our bot. Okay. Cool, so let's go ahead and cue the song over here. So we can see that the bot is currently playing the song. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and cue another song over here. Okay, so you've successfully added to the queue, and you can see that these URLs were both valid. And in the second song I queued, it says connection exists, which means that the bot is currently in the channel playing music, right? It's currently playing music, and what that means is we don't want to interrupt the stream. So we're just going to tell the user that you've added to the queue, and once that song is done playing, it's going to play the next song. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to edit this part out. So I'm going to fast forward to I guess the last few seconds of the song, and show you guys that this actually works, so you guys don't think I'm BSing you guys. But yeah, so I'm just gonna wait this out, and yeah, so I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. All right, so that we are back and the song's about to end. So you should see that the bot's gonna play the next song. In yep, there you go. So there was that delay, that 5-second delay, because we don't want to interrupt the stream at all. So we just delay it a little bit, okay? So that way the event can actually fully end, okay? And once that we're gonna wait 5 seconds afterwards, and we're gonna play the next song, which is what it did over here. So I've actually never heard the song before, but I'll put a link in the description, I guess, in case you guys want to listen to the song or whatever. But yeah, so this song is gonna play for who knows how long. Let me actually go to that URL real quick. And then once this song is done playing, it'll play, it'll play the next song. Okay, and it's gonna keep on doing that until there are no more songs to be played. And once there's no more songs to be played, the bot is going to leave the channel. So I hope you guys actually enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a really long video, and I really dislike making really long videos, but yeah, it was a really long one, but I'm pretty sure it was worth it. I'm sure you guys learned a lot. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, admiring my beautiful keyboard. And if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like. Feel free to comment on what you thought I could have done better. I always appreciate feedback. And definitely check out my other videos. And I will see you next time. Peace, guys.